So summer is over and the temperatures are dropping, which means it's the perfect time to go searching for that last-minute thrill before the year is up. You know I love a good thrill ride. So let us introduce you to our next guest, a guy who has traveled the country in search of the best amusement parks, Pete Trabucco. Thanks for being with us again. You were with us a couple years ago.
Yeah, several times actually.
Yes, we're so excited to hear.
It's my favorite show. My favorite show.
Sure
I'd love to hear that.
So what's new with you?
I'm doing very well. I'm actually here. You know, my daughter's performing, and so we're down here, and I appreciate you coming down. And of course, you got some great rides right here in the Orlando area. Of course, a lot of parks, and it's just an amazing time, especially with the holidays right around the corner.
Tell us about different roller coasters that you've seen across the country. Like, what are some of your favorites?
Well, obviously, Disney's got some really good ones. Rock and Roller Coaster comes to mind. Hollywood Ride Rocket over at Universal
Classic.
Studios, another one. Manta over at SeaWorld, and of course, you've got my favorite, which is on the book of my next book, as well as the old book, Millennium Force, Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio. Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I guess that's in California, Valencia.
Well, what makes
There's
them so great, though?
Rewritability. If you go on the ride and you don't want to go on it again, it wasn't a good ride.
That's a good point.
So you want to make sure that you go back on it, and the 10th ride is as good as the first ride, or the 20th ride is as good as the first ride.
Wow.
That's what makes a good roller coaster. As a frustrated pilot, you know, who doesn't fly that much and do aerobatics anymore, this is a great way to get that rush.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have the best job ever. Just test ride roller coasters all day. What's the scariest one you've ever been on?
Actually, the scariest one is no longer in existence anymore, but it was so rough that my wife's a chiropractor. I actually needed her when I came off that ride, so I don't want to mention what it was, but there are some pretty scary ones out there, and the ski lift over at the Lake Compounds, 2,000 feet with nothing but a little bar holding you in it. That's the scariest ride I've ever been on.
So I know
like
you ride them all the time. You still get scared, though?
No,
Don't you
actually,
get used to it by now?
well, no, actually, well, it depends. I mean, you know, depending on the ride and everything. But no, their rides, they're very safe. You know, 1 in 750 million people will be in a fatality. You got a much better chance, obviously, on the road. So you know it's going to be safe. After 3 minutes or whatever the ride is, you're going to come off. You're going to feel really good about it. Whether you like it or hate it, you're going to at least remember it. And I think that's what the most important factor is. And chances are, if you're coming down to the parks, especially here in Orlando, you're going to have a great time with the family. Forget about your problems and your troubles, and have a little fun.
Well, no, because you're trying to think about saving your life when you're on a roller coaster.
Well, don't forget to
mind's busy
scream.
thinking
Don't
about
forget.
that.
Don't forget to scream. I learned as a pilot, keep the blood up into your upper extremities. That way you don't feel too queasy. And where else can you scream and not get arrested?
Oh,
Well, I got an answer for that, but we're going to go to commercial break. Thanks for being with us.